Great, Judd. Thanks for sitting down with us. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the role that you're playing.
Well, Lucas is the best friend of Liz's former college boyfriend / best friend. We haven't seen each other in about 9 years and 4 months, as he says, since she went to go move off to Phoenix to be with her now ex-husband, Oren. And he is just so happy to have Lizbeth back in his life, basically, and wants to keep that relationship around because it just reminds him of his glory days.
Oh, good. Yeah. What excited you about the show or even the role?
Well, when I saw that this was the show that was happening, I honestly hadn't heard too much about the show. I knew Idina Menzel did it, and everyone loved her about it and everything and whatnot. And I was like, Tom Kitts did the music, and he did the next stuff. And like, sounds like great people, great things involved. And I just really wanted to try something that I'd never really done before. Like, I usually pick shows that like I like doing, I've heard about doing, and like I know a lot, and I'm like, oh my god, they're my favorite shows. But I wanted to actually try to do something that like I didn't really know much about, and sort of dive in a little more fresh and new, so that way I didn't feel like I was either like trying to emulate something from a previous production or how I built it up in my head from before. Almost like a blank slate, which has been a fun experience, honestly. Yeah.
So now, do you have a favorite show? Since you mentioned like you like picking shows that you've done before.
I always go to Company as my favorite show of all time. It's just one of the first shows that I ever experienced in college, where I sort of learned how musicals could be more than just about like, oh, we're happy, we're sing-songy, let's do a little kick line and everything and whatnot. It dealt with real issues, and it dealt with a lot of inner turmoil, and the songs came from a place of like trying to deal with that, and the music was just gorgeous, and it just was so different, and it changed my whole mindset on how musicals could be.
You know, that truth be told, that is my all-time favorite show as well.
Oh yeah, it's a great
one. It's the one that really, I mean, I've obviously been listening to Schanno my entire life anyway, but that's the one that really kind of spoke to me because one of my favorite topics is relationships, and that show is very much about relationships. You know, it's about a couple and an outsider, and how they all navigate. The outsider is, in many respects, kind of watching and commenting on the couple and what they're going through. But yeah, I've always found that musical utterly fascinating.
Oh, absolutely. And like, even when I discovered it in college, I still identified with the way that Bobby sort of handled life, and as in a changing aspect of his life, he's at an age where he feels like he should be settling down and finding the right person. He sees all these people around him also settling down with people that they like and they've been with for so long, or it's new and fresh and everything, and he sees that, and it's almost like he judges it, but also wants that same thing, and he's like, I'm ready for it, like, why can't I have that when these people who have it either clearly aren't right for each other, and they don't work, or they just somehow work and it's great, and he wants like all those things. And being in college, you know, you're still trying to like explore yourself and figure out yourself, and I just sort of identify with that sort of like, well, I want all these things, and I think I'm ready, but I'm not sure if I'm actually ready enough for it yet or whatnot. And I feel like a big part of Bobby's character is that he thinks he's ready because he sees other people in their sort of lives and thinks, well, if they can do it, I can do it. But at the same time, like, maybe they're not doing it, and so he sort of has to come to that realization, like, maybe I'm not actually ready for it. But it also doesn't end on that sort of like happy note of like, this is the concise story, start, end, everyone's happy, all problems solved, whatnot. It ends this sort of like, I don't know, like he's not sure if he actually wants these things, but he knows he wants these things, but he's not quite ready for it, and it doesn't come to like a full resolution. It sort of sits and like, it's like, this is a slice of life, this is a time in his life, this is what's happened, and who knows where things are going to go. And I like that about I like those kinds of stories.
Yeah. Have you seen the female version?
I have not yet. I want to see it.
I'm curious, like what you would think about that, because it feels like it has a different thrust to me, because a 35-year-old woman who's not married is very different than a 35-year-old man who's not. I mean, those are two very different things.
I know. I mean, I kind of, when I heard about it, I honestly was pretty excited about the concept about it. You know, I was sort of like, well, that would be a different kind of story. Obviously, you know, they have to sort of stick to the way that the script is going to go and everything and whatnot, but it's almost like within those moments they can sort of play different beats, and different words and different phrases are sort of interpreted in different ways based on who's playing it, and having a male versus a female playing that same part, the words that they choose to say sort of hits differently.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like that, and I also like that they decided to change a couple other characters and like have the not getting married today.
Yes.
Having Beth be a male character this time too. I kind of like that sort of anxiety, because that adds a whole different layer about a gay relationship, a gay marriage, you know, which is sort of more of a fresher thing, and it's almost like a pressure that's been put on gay people to like, is this what I actually want? We've been fighting for this, we've got this now, but like, am I actually ready for this at the same time? Because we haven't had it and now we have it, and it's like scary, you know, and so it brings that song into a whole different context. Like, maybe I'm not ready for this thing that I finally have the ability to do.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I kind of like that.
So now, do you have a dream role of whether it's company or any other show that you're like, yeah, you know what, that's the one
I mean, yeah, Bobby's one that's always been on my mind to do all that. You want to do that part. If I had other dream roles, I mean, I've always wanted to do West Side Story, but I don't want to be Tony. Tony is the most boring character in that entire show. He just stands there and sings and has love and kisses a girl and then dies, and it's just like, such a tragic. I want to be any other character. It's been 50 years. It's an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet, where everyone knows what happens. If you don't know that people die in West Side Story, I'm sorry. You're not a musical theater person. No. It's been 60-something years now. Anywho. Yeah, so I probably would want to play like Riff, I think his name is. He's the one that sings Cool, right? Yeah. I'm so bad with character names sometimes. It's terrible. But yes, I think that's the character I want to play. Cool. It's just such a fucking cool song, and the dancing in that is phenomenal. And I think that's also why I don't like Tony, because he doesn't really dance. Not very much.
He doesn't.
No.
It's not a dance role, which is why that's the role I always wanted to play. When I was young, I was like, I can't dance.
See, my favorite
part Italian. Yeah. Tony's supposed to be Italian, so I'm like,
that's my favorite point of the show, is the dancing and the music and how all the syncopation and everything. Yeah. That's what attracted me to the show, so I want to be a part of that, you know?
You know, many of us have like, we call them survival jobs out here in the real world. So like, what do you do when you're not on stage?
I do too much. So I'm a server and a bartender at a restaurant, BJ's, in Burbank, and then I also have a part-time job at a H&M in Sherman Oaks. Oh, wow. I am taking a little break from there right now to be a part of this show, which they're totally fine with. You know, they're like, we know you're talented, you're doing great work, go and be a star and everything. Just make sure you come back. It's like, that's the plan right now.
Right. Now, are you one of the native Angelinos, or where are you from?
No, I am a California born-based, but I'm from NorCal. I grew up in Los Altos, the name of the town, so up in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah, I know that.
Yes, so right on the peninsula near Palo Alto, Stanford, Mountain View, that whole area. So I grew up there, and then I came down here in 2011 for college, went to USC. And for the School of Dramatic Arts there, and I've been down here ever since.
Wow, that's a long time. And you were also in one of our shows way back in that's going to be...
that's been 9 years.
Yeah, it was 2017. 2017.
Yeah.
That's right.
9 years since that show. Yes.
Wow. So, how do you think we've been? We've basically been dark for most of those 9 years.
I know. But it was funny. I've been driving to rehearsals out here, and sometimes it takes me right past that old building, and I get to look at it, and I'm like, why it looks so sad and not being used right now. It would be perfect.
I know. I've driven by it too, and I was like, what could have been?
Yeah, good times though. It was fun.
Yeah, so this is your third show. With us.
Yes.
So why do you keep coming back? I mean,
I think a part of it has to do with the fact that you guys just do shows that don't get done quite often enough, you know? And I get to find new shows that I haven't even really heard about, and then I sort of listen to the music and the story behind it all, and I just sort of fallen a lot more in love with these shows, you know? Like, I never heard of Hello Again at all. I just saw something on Backstage.com and I was like, musical, let's go, I'll submit. And I did it, and some of that music is just so gorgeous
Yeah.
and like amazing. And I still have that song I did in my audition book, although I never bring it in because it is a nightmare for composers or any people playing the piano to try to play that because it's tough. So it's just there though because I can do it. And then I did Elegies. We're still in production for that. June 27th is the last date, and we'll do one on July 12th as well. And yeah, I love the idea of doing a song cycle, not being a part of like a plot or anything, but just letting the music sort of tell the different stories. And it was a great experience, and a lot of those songs are, in my opinion, that show, a lot of people get stuck in the whole mindset of like grief and despair and tragedy with AIDS and 9/11 and everything and whatnot. But there's so many songs in it that are actually a lot more joyful, funny, like happy memories, and sort of just shows you the different levels of grief that happen in life. And I think having an appreciation for that made me like this show even more too. And then now I'm here at Ben, and having so many preconceived notions about a show that I didn't know much about, I've learned a lot about what this show is and how it can be portrayed and how it can affect people and how the different themes behind it are just a lot more nuanced than a lot of other musicals are willing to be.
Good. So why do you think someone should come see this production of this show?
Well, not knowing much about the Broadway production and everything or whatnot, if you're someone like me who has heard about the show because of Idina Menzel or because of the fact that the music is really good and everything or whatnot, you should come to this production to invest yourself in the story. The story behind it all and the choices that Elizabeth, Liz, and Beth make throughout the story drives everything. And you don't really get a sense of that just from hearing the music. So you should come to this production so that you can see all the different choices that we make to sort of tell the stories in the two different paths that we take.
Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.